Hey there guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be giving you a tour of some chicken coops in Phoenix, Arizona as a part of the 2015 Phoenix Tour De Coops. It's put on by the Valley Permaculture Alliance and is a great display of people's backyard chicken coops, their chickens, their gardens, and all that kind of cool stuff. So if you have something similar in your area, I would definitely go check it out. Otherwise, stay tuned and see some of these coops.
This year's tour was headquartered at a place called Beneficial Beans. It's a coffee shop, urban farm, and has the mission of helping adults with autism gain life skills and valuable work experience. From the garden beds and chicken coops to a very large greenhouse, rainwater harvesting, solar projects, and a whole slew of other neat things, it's apparent they've got some great things going on here. Now for the coops. The sizes range from the very large to the very small, and the materials of which the coops were made out of ranged from store-bought lumber and brand new materials to pallet wood and recycled wood. But the one thing that was consistent amongst all of the coops is that the chickens were very well cared for, and the coop owners were more than willing to answer any questions regarding breeds and diet, watering techniques, and any other chicken-related stuff that people had questions on. One thing different in this year's tour versus tours in the past is that the number of coops was limited to 8 versus normally 20 to 25 that I had seen in the past. It was explained to me that this decision was made in order to focus on quality versus quantity, as well as to keep the coop tour to a smaller geographical area so as to be bicycle friendly. All of the coop owners were more than willing to talk about their breeds, answer any questions, and basically talk about what's worked and what hasn't worked for them in this area. And this was one of my favorite coops because it had an Arizona flag and it incorporated rain runoff from their shed, incorporated around their chicken coop, and ultimately into a rain barrel. And here was a good example of a simple pallet coop with a tin roof incorporated in the side yard of a house. And here's the perfect little coop for that reluctant spouse. Pretty cute, huh? This is one of the larger coops that had an interesting slat design to allow airflow all around the coop. Both sides can be closed up in the winter or opened up like this when it's warm. There's even a swamp cooler for those extreme Phoenix hot days. And the last two coops were located at the Starshine Academy Charter School as a part of their sustainable living curriculum. This first one is a simple lean-to pallet style coop incorporated into the side of their gardening barn. And the second coop was located in the midst of a small fruit tree orchard, benefiting from the shade and cooling effect of the fruit trees. In addition to the coops, the next big benefit to a tour like this is being able to see all the different gardens and what people are doing to grow stuff in their area and with their circumstances. One of the more interesting displays of the tour was this aquaponics system that incorporated a backyard pond in a series of grow beds located inside this shade house to provide clean water for the fish, nutrients for the plants, and obviously an abundance of fish and plants for the homeowners eventually. And just as impressive was the setup at the Roosevelt Grow House, located in downtown Phoenix, where they've incorporated garden beds in the space between the sidewalk and the street, as well as all around the house. In addition, they also offer community garden plots, gardening classes, a retail cooperative, as well as a whole slew of other things. And here's a really cool version of a gabion wall that was made into a bench. And this was a great example of a keyhole garden, where the pathways are slightly raised and compacted, and the growing areas are slightly sunken to allow for rainwater to flow directly to the plants. And this garden was a great example of natural design, combining annuals and perennials, overstory and understory plants, into a symbiotic relationship between the whole property. And being that there was a limited amount of coops from this year's tour, I figured I'd show some pictures from a tour a couple years ago.